you so much for tuning in to my Capstone project in an effort to celebrate the presence of arts and theater in our lives through songs about healing and growth. I think something like this is so needed after all we've experienced this year. Like I said, this is my capstone project as I'm kind of culminating my time at Siena College. I really wanted to explore the connection between mental health and wellness and theatrical performance. So I asked so many people I knew within the theater community to send me stories of how theater has been a therapeutic influence or a healing force in their lives. I'm going to be sharing some of those stories tonight, but I'd like to get started with a song about kind of optimism and hope for the future. So this is Look to the Rainbow from Finian's Rainbow. I hope you enjoy it. On the day I was born, said my father, said he, I've an elegant legacy waiting for you. 'Tis a rhyme for your lip and a song for your heart to sing it whenever the world falls apart. Look, look, look to the rainbow, follow it over the hill and stream. Look, look, look to the rainbow, follow the fellow who follows a dream. So I bundled my heart and I roamed the world free, to the east with the lark, to the west with the sea. And I'll search all the earth, and I'll scan all the skies, till I find it at last in my own true love's eyes. Look, look, look to the rainbow, follow it over the hill and stream. Look, look, look to the rainbow, follow the fellow who follows a dream. Follow the fellow, follow the fellow, follow the fellow who follows a dream.
It's crazy because theater is supposed to be so visceral and raw when it's live and in a room. And I think having stuff be digital now, like this, is really great because it obviously it's so accessible and it brings stories to a wider audience, which is extremely important. That being said, I can't wait for the day when we're all back together in a dark room watching people tell stories again. Because I think it's that moment when the overture starts or the first line is said that I truly feel like I am part of something that is bigger than myself. And it's kind of rare these days, but super important.
Theater has been an incredible healing tool for me in the past. It has allowed me to cope with my mental health, my sexuality, and my gender in a number of healthy ways. The suspension of belief required to both create and watch theater allows me to take a step back from the stress of life. For a handful of hours, I know that no matter what situation is thrown at me, there will be a solution and a resolution, not often afforded in real life. Theater, for me, provides a sort of haven.
So theater has been both therapeutic and healing for me because when I was younger, I had a lot of issues with communicating with adults and honing in on just social cues in general. I started theater when I was 7 years old. That same year, I was diagnosed with Asperger's syndrome, so that made a lot more sense for why I wasn't able to communicate well enough with my peers and adults around me. And throughout my youth and throughout my teenage years, being a part of these theater productions had really helped develop how I communicated, how I presented myself going forward in my life. I know I had a lot of teachers who didn't think I would be able to graduate high school, a lot of teachers who didn't think that I would be able to get a college degree, but here I am, 2020, a year out from earning my college degree, and still being a functional adult in life. So theater has helped me in that respect, and to my former and previous directors who have helped me, on this journey, thank you.
When I was in second grade, I did my first ever musical. It was about the water cycle, and it was called The Raindrops Family Vacation, about a large family of raindrops who go on vacation through the water cycle, precipitation, what have you. I played a raindrop, and it was really, truly from that moment that I was kind of hooked. Theater had made me feel a sense of joy and belonging and purpose that since that point, nothing else has really been able to do for me. And so I stuck with it. I went to college to study theater. In my first year of college, my freshman year, it was really, really difficult for me. I started experiencing debilitating anxiety to the point where I was going through upwards of 2-3 panic attacks daily. It was a time in my life that was really, really scary, and it made me realize how fortunate I had been prior to not have really struggled with my mental health. And it made me realize how much it really infiltrates and permeates into every aspect of your life. Even theater went from being the one thing that I could always count on to bring me joy to a voice in my head that said, but you're not good enough, so what's the point? This next song kind of reminds me of what the point is. It reminds me of the feeling I had when I was that second grade raindrop in the Raindrops Family Vacation. Finding that thing that brings you that sense of childlike enthusiasm, whether it's theater, whether it's yoga, or whatever it is that your passion is. So this is A Way Back to Then from Title of Show. Dancing in the backyard, curling mustache and butterfly wings, hearing Andrea McCardle sing from the hi-fi in the den. I've been waiting my whole life to find a way back to then. I aimed for the
healing practice. There's like so much, but I think for me, it's the fact of escapism, of being able to be immersed fully in a show and being able to forget about your own reality for a moment. But I also think it's the ability to work through your reality through whatever you're watching and seeing the emotional life of the characters parallel to your own emotional life. And as a choreographer, the moving in musicals and theater is what's super key and super healing for me. Being able to express yourself through dancing and physical movement is the best way I know how, and this is why I continue to do it. And it's a really lovely and beautiful and wonderful thing. Love you, Nora.
Theater and music have been very therapeutic for me over the years, way before I even knew they were. Growing up, they were both escapes from everyday problems. They're both so impactful to me, especially music. I find myself listening to music almost all day. It plays a huge part in setting my mood for the day. It's always amazed me how fast the perfect song can send rushes of energy or happiness through my body with the click of a button. Theater has given me so much confidence as a person. It has shown me how much I really enjoy performing and how incredible it makes me feel. Confident with a sense of ease. Comfortable. I not only appreciate the sense of comfort that I have been able to receive from theater, but I have a huge respect for the community that it builds. I have made incredible, lifelong friendships by doing theater. It brings people together and inspires everyone to create amazing work. I've learned a lot about myself through theater, and I always want to keep it as a constant in my life.
So I haven't participated directly in musical theater since probably high school. But it's still a part of my, maybe not daily life, but it's a part of my life pretty frequently still, because one of my favorite things to do after a long day at work or any stressful day for any reason, I love to just come home, start cooking in the kitchen, and blast songs from my favorite musicals. I think it's a great way to sort of turn off my brain, transport myself to feeling like I'm elsewhere, and just being able to really enjoy it and immerse myself in the music is a really nice getaway for me and a really nice de-stressor.
Musicals about mental health have been very therapeutic for me during my time in college. Specifically, Next to Normal is a show I've held with me because of my connection to the character Dan. He often hides his anxiety and depression in favor of taking care of others, and when he gets his emotional release at the end of the show, it always makes me feel happy. Watching him go through his emotional journey is therapeutic because I find myself going through that emotional journey with him and getting a satisfying end.
A lot of the stories that I received, as you saw, surrounded the theme of theater as escapism, the idea of taking yourself and your own stressors and sort of putting them on the shelf for a while and getting to live in the shoes of somebody who isn't you. So I thought I would take this opportunity to explore one of my dream roles, Miss Mary Poppins. Personally, I think it would be quite exciting, quite fun to live a day in her shoes, and getting to play with and explore this role was a really nice form of escape from the stressors of day-to-day life. So I hope you enjoy Practically Perfect from Mary Poppins. By the time the wind has blown the weather vane around, I'll show you if I can. No matter what the circumstance, for one thing I'm renowned. My character is spit, spot, spick, and span. I'm practically perfect in every way. Practically perfect, so people say. Each virtue virtually knows no bounds. Each trait is great and patently sound. I'm practically perfect from head to toe. If I had a fault, it would never dare to show. I'm so practically perfect in every way. Both prim and proper and never too stern. Well educated, yet willing to learn. I'm clean and honest, my manner refined, and I wear shoes of the sensible kind. I suffer no nonsense, and whilst I remain mine. There's nothing else I feel I need explain. I'm practically perfect in every way. Practically perfect, that's my forte. Uncanny nannies are hard to find. Unique yet meek, unspeakably kind. I'm practically perfect, not slightly soiled. Running like an engine that's just been freshly oiled. I'm so practically perfect in every way. I'm practically perfect, and here's my aim. By the time I leave here, you both will be the same. You'll be practically perfect. Practically perfect. You will be practically perfect in every
I guess the reason why theater is so therapeutic and healing to me is that it's a very artistic and professional form of make-believe, especially when I get to play characters who are very unlike me, typically villain characters. How I get to say things that I would normally never say, do things that I would normally never do, and be put in scenarios that I would probably never be put into. Getting to act all that out while knowing in the back of my mind that this is not who I am, it's just such a relieving feeling. It's almost like having an outlet to express certain emotions and feelings that you might be building up, and getting to release all that on a stage in front of an audience. It's just the best feeling. And it's one of the many reasons I love the arts.
Theater is the thing that helped me the most to get over my selective mutism, the physical inability to speak in certain situations due to anxiety surrounding speech that causes a fight, flight, or freeze response. Without theater, there's a good possibility I'd still be mute most places other than with my family. But now I'm a theater major and was just in my first short film.
So this next song actually intimidates me quite a bit, and that's why I chose it, partially. I thought it would be really kind of exciting to take on a challenge of a role I don't see myself ever being cast as. So 2020 has obviously been a year of turmoil and chaos in so many ways, and this song to me sort of represents empowerment and strength and finding control when so many external factors are so far out of our control. So this is Woman from The Pirate Queen. It makes me feel like I can run up a mountain, and I hope it does the same for you. Enjoy. Woman, I am born. What does woman mean? Must my dreams face scorn, held back and unseen? If I long for fire, must it stay unreal? Can I not desire? Am I not to feel? If I ache to taste, am I not to try? If my heart says sail, why should I deny? I have my dreams, I have made plans, I see horizons wide as a man's. Must I be nothing till I'm some man's wife? Look at this face, does it deceive? Do I look made to milk and to weave? I will be damned to hell if that is my life. I'm as skilled with swords and equal in most eyes. But when you have a dream and you're caught in its grip, you can climb aboard a ship. You can, for you're a man. You can reach toward that place where the earth meets the sky. Fight a battle, be brave, be true. If you can do it, why not I'm meant to fly, sail unrestrained. Why is man free and warm and chained? Is that my epitaph before I die? I should be free, free to be grace, so I can feel the wind on my face. And when life beckons, I should go face out the storm, not stand below. Am I to be just a woman? No, not I.
Theater has been healing for me because it helped me digest my past traumas. It's also taught me a ton of life lessons, like how to stay truthful to yourself, how to stay true in the moment, and how to stay present-minded. And yeah.
Theater has helped me in endless ways, but to name a few, it's helped me learn how to be in the present moment and not obsess over the past or the future. It's taught me how to see things from other people's perspectives and to connect with other people who are different from me. It's helped me become more in touch with myself and my surroundings. It's helped with public speaking. I've met some of the greatest people in my life through theater. And since I've started doing theater, I'm the happiest I've ever been.
In 2008, I lost my job and my life sort of careered out of control for a long time, and I had to get myself in shape. I was very depressed, acting out with alcohol, and basically unemployable, not that there was anyone hiring during the global financial crisis. I eventually took an overnight job stocking shelves at Price Chopper, and after 9 months allowed myself to work in community theater again, and discovered for the third or fourth time in my life that this is the only place where I feel useful, needed, and valuable. I worked again as 2009 turned into 2010, and by the time I took a summer job in Naples, New York, decided that whatever else was going to happen, I was going to place theater as my primary purpose, and eventually through teaching, directing, and doing standardized patient work at Albany Medical College, made it my sole source of admittedly limited income. It is now hard during the pandemic, but there's no going back. It's not like retail is doing that much better than theater. I know that I am certainly in a healthier frame of mind with theater as my primary focus in life.
Musical theater has been very therapeutic to me in that it's always there when I need it. It's never going anywhere. If I'm sad and want to turn on a show tune, one of my favorite shows, I can. If I think of a scene that brings me comfort from a show, I can just, kind of quote it in my head or just talk about it with a friend. And I think it's one of the things that it's those stories, they're timeless stories that will continue to provide us with a sense of nostalgia and kind of like connect us together in a way that we didn't think we could be connected. We all love these shows, we all love these stories, we can bond over them and connect, and I think that's what's really therapeutic to me at the end of the day.
So this year has been full of so much sadness and heartbreak for so many people, and I think we're all deserving of a little bit of levity. And this next song sort of reminds me of how simple that can be, finding that contentment, finding that joy, if we allow it to be. So this is The Secret of Happiness from the musical Daddy Longlegs. Enjoy. I've discovered the secret of happiness is learning how to glide. I've discovered the secret of happiness is just enjoy the ride. Don't let the journey be tainted by pride and
My name is Monica, and I'm gonna talk about how theater has helped me. I think theater first started helping me when I was in high school, because I got really scared because I was changing from middle school to high school, and I didn't know what to do. I was really stressed, and I took kind of like an extra class, and it was theater. And when I got into the class, I was so happy because I got to meet new people, to have fun, to express myself, and I felt that was something that I haven't been able to do so. That was kind of like the first thing that theater did for me. And after that, now that I'm studying theater, I think that one of the most important changes that I see is that I'm able to love myself more. And that's because theater has helped me to know myself better and to understand myself better, just by doing the exercise, by practicing with myself, like being really focused and a lot of other things. And that's one of the most amazing things about theater, and that I thank so much. And well, that's my experience in theater. Thank you so much.
The day after Christmas in 1988, my best friend, her husband, and her son, who, had he lived, would have been 16 the next day, were killed in a tragic car accident on the Northway. It was an event that shocked me to the core and would change the trajectory of my life. Until then, I thought I was content being a wife, mother of two, and an inner-city teacher, and my main focus was on my family's well-being. Although my main interests prior to my marriage were dance, music, and theater, I had pretty much given them up. I was willingly spending most of my free time doing things that my family enjoyed, that didn't include my interests. Struggling through a deep mourning period, I came to the realization, with professional help of course, that it was crucial that I begin to allow time for me to pursue my own personal interests. This led me to take dance classes where, coincidentally, the tap teacher was to be the choreographer for Park Playhouse's upcoming summer production of Kiss Me Kate. With his encouragement, I reluctantly went to the audition, surprisingly got cast, and began my journey with local musical theater. Performing, singing, and dancing made me feel alive and happy, a state I hadn't expected to be in after the recent tragic past. I was finally in an environment that fed my soul. After 3 summers of performing on that stage in beautiful Washington Park, I was asked to head up the newly created youth theater, Park Playhouse 2. I had always dreamed of running a youth theater and bringing live musical theater to schools, but when I retired from teaching, this opportunity appeared many years before my retirement age, but I decided to go for it anyway. How fortunate was I to be able to combine my love of teaching with my love of the arts. Fast forward to 2020. I now have retired from my theater career, but in my retirement, I have been able to direct shows with school children, thus keeping my head in the game. That horrible tragedy was the impetus that I needed to pursue the dreams I once had. Does theater lend itself to healing? In my case, I can unequivocally say, yes, it does. Being active in theater not only lifted my very low spirits, it increased my energy and allowed me to achieve things I could not even believe.
A lot of people spoke to the idea of theater giving them sort of a sense of purpose in life. So I'd like to wrap up this evening's performance with a song that sort of encapsulates everyone's ideas of why theater is so therapeutic and healing, and quite simply, that's love. Our love for the craft, our love for creation. So this is What I Did for Love from a chorus line. And whatever it is you love, whether it's making and creating theater, whether it's cooking or running, I hope that it brings you peace and comfort, and I hope you can find resonance with this song. Thank you so much for tuning in. Kiss today goodbye, the sweetness and the sorrow. Wish me luck the same to you. but I can't regret what I did for love, what I did for love. Look, my eyes are dry. The gift was ours to borrow. It's as if we always knew. And I won't forget what I did for love, what I did for love. Gone, love is never gone. As we travel on, love's what we'll remember. Kiss today goodbye.